You guys should know I'm very proud of my former role as CEO of Teva, a company which is so brilliantly built by Eli Horowitz, whose annual memorial ceremony I attended last week. Wonderful ceremony. And a true source of pride for Israel, a true source of pride. Teva is a company built around nearly 47,000 people, hard-working, dedicated employees, together with a strong, determined management. Actually, I see quite a few of them up there. I salute you guys. I think you're terrific. I wish you well in your next steps. It was one of the great privileges of my career, professional career, to work with people of this extraordinary caliber. And if you have a chance, meet them. They are terrific. Thank you for the rare opportunity to work with individuals who truly are so galvanized by success. As for myself, as you all know, I made Aliyah, and I'm currently unemployed. So if any of you have any interesting offers, and by the way, I've got my CV if you'd like to see it. On a serious note, in the near future, I plan on dedicating my time to exploring Israel, one of the most fascinating countries in the world, and to meeting Israelis of all kinds and enjoying all of what this amazing country has to offer. And I'd like to say thank you to all of those who wrote the hundreds and hundreds of supporting letters which it received, which reminds me of something quite remarkable, if you didn't know it already, of the remarkable warmth and love that there is in Israeli society. It is something special, and I'm proud to be an Israeli myself. Now, similarly, throughout this talk, I'm going to encourage you to use your abilities that you've already demonstrated with your new academic knowledge to help build a robust economy and, by extension, a robust democracy. We see around us the collapse of other societies that do not celebrate diversity and do not deliver the advancements their people need. Again, to those of you who will work in Israel or in the region, on your collective shoulders rest more than the future of the local economy, more than the future of your wealth. To make this region stable and sustainable, I believe we must all commit ourselves with laser-like focus to solving internal challenges unique to Israel and the area. We must educate, for example, all sectors of the society and do this through higher grading. We must include and integrate all people, be they Christian, Muslims, Jews, Haredi, Druzim, Bedouin, Ethiopians, and others. Every group needs to be both have an honored place in society and a meaningful stake in the economy. This is a challenging task. But I believe that with respect to Israel, they're key to a democratic, fair, and stable society. One built on sustainable economy, an economy that will generate jobs at every level, one that will have enough revenues to underwrite both security and domestic needs, and one that will have enough educated workers with the knowledge of core subjects required to staff the jobs that will provide the wealth, the engine, and one that will have a higher quality of life for all its citizens. All people and all sectors of the Israeli population and each social group must flourish for Israel to flourish. The ability to innovate is core to your success, but it goes further than just innovation. You need to be ready to take risks. You know the facts. Only about 14% of the Fortune 500 companies around in 1955 are still on the list 56 years later, in 2011, an astonishing attrition. Many that dropped out failed to evolve, but one of the key elements in that failure to evolve was the failure to take the risk of innovating. Very important. In Israel, we see entrepreneurs who innovate and who take the developmental risk. In fact, this morning I heard from President Perez, I understand there are 13,000 businesses and entrepreneurs in Israel alone. It's an astonishing figure, astonishing figure. These create immense value. Israel has great reason to be proud of this tremendous contribution. We see entrepreneurs who impressively create novel technologies and who sell it to leading companies in their industries. It's extraordinary, actually. To me, however, it will be even more gratifying when one or more of these startups are not just developed here, but are commercially exploited by scaling massively in place. And I urge us all to think carefully how to gradually transition from being not just this amazing engine of innovation, but also to take the risk of being a locus, a center for scale growth. Secondly, I want to talk about passion. No, not that passion. I want to talk about deep passion. The core value, the one that resonates most with me. And it's perhaps best detailed in an experience that I had as a young doctor in a riot-torn area of South Africa. It was in 1985, at a time of enormous turmoil and conflict. I was working at a hospital near Cape Town, and there were hundreds of patients streaming into the hospital with stab wounds and gunshot wounds. Each was a story. Each was its own tragedy. And then one man, Ibrahim, was brought in near to death. He'd been shot in the back by a high-velocity rifle bullet, with almost no hope of surviving. But we worked on him for 6 hours. 6 precious hours. He died. But during that 6 hours, not a single member of the team working on this patient in the corridor that served, and it was a corridor, there was no operating room, served as our operating, dreamt of leaving him. Committing everything we had to him was our passion. In the morning, his body disappeared. All the paperwork regarding his death disappeared. All seemingly taken away by the regime. But his memory, and the memory of the 3 nurses and the 1 very junior medical student who worked with me, never did. That memory has never died. Last but not least, I leave you with one more thought. Make darn sure you write a good employment contract. That's it. Congratulations, graduates. Well done.